Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast, industry analyst, and today, for July 11th, 2025, we're running through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, etc. But good morning, all. Glad to see you all in the chat. We got Ultronomous, Chris, JamKillX. I think we're ready to go then. I think we're ready to go. And it is Friday. I'm glad it's Friday. I've had quite the work week, and it's not over yet. Still got a lot of work to do this week, but just glad it's Friday. Look forward to the weekend. Play some more games. Probably Switch 2 stuff. Probably. But let's wait. Is there anything to talk about, or should I just jump into what I've been playing? Yeah, let's do that. All right. So yesterday, kind of the same things that have been going on. Just after work, jumping into a little Mario Kart. Jumping into a little more Link's Awakening, actually. I spent a little more time on that. I was stuck in something I guess I completely forgot was in Link's Awakening. It's the little trading section where before you go to a dungeon, you got to just like trade thing for a little bit. And I completely forgot unless it was added in or something. I don't know. But depending on what was going on, I then think back to when I first played Link's Awakening when it first came out and loved it, and I beat it, and that's pretty cool back then that I beat that. Where even as an adult, sometimes I'll be like stuck in something that, as a kid, I was able to pass. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. So with Link's Awakening, it looks amazing. It captures me. On the TV or in handheld mode, just the graphics of the Link's Awakening remake are amazing. Mario Kart World, just still having fun with that. I mean, there's not much more I can say. It is a good time. You just jump in, you have fun. There's no friction. I mean, the hardest part is when you're trying to pull off some of the challenge courses or tricks and then you mess up. But it's funny, the left click is retry. So it's like if I don't make it and then time runs out, there's this thing, click retry, you start back up again. And I think they did that on purpose because it is hard, or it's difficult enough where it might take a couple tries. And there's some things I find very interesting that it's like, okay, am I supposed to upgrade or just get better? Because there was this one challenge mode that I think it was near the haunted castle, haunted house, and not castle, the haunted house racetrack. There's a challenge there where it's an actual race. Not all the challenges are races. They're just like random things to like get coins usually. And actually this one, no, it's not coins. But anyway, it's just a race, but it's like the knockout race. And I can't beat it. It's like, wait a minute. I know how to play Mario Kart. I know how to race around. And it's like I get knocked out, I guess is what they call it, because I don't get to a certain checkpoint at a right time, so I don't get the added seconds. I get booted out, and I'm like, okay, do I need to upgrade? No, it's not about upgrading in Mario Kart. You really just, play based on skill. So I maybe need to dive into more of the meta of the jump boost sort of thing. Maybe I don't really understand how much that works. The other part is something else I've noticed, because since this is the open world and you can just pick any character, any cart, you're constantly unlocking carts. I might be like, for instance, what happened yesterday, I was either Bowser or Wario, a big character in one of the big vehicles, and I was doing that race, and I was like, I'm losing. And it's like, I wonder if it's because I'm a slow vehicle, and that was the case. Then I chose Mario and one of his go-karts, and it was just so much faster. So I even got farther easily in that challenge. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So just on a base level, the speed differences of the characters of the carts, you need to make sure you have, I guess, something to be as fast as possible. So it's interesting. And I know that's kind of been even in Mario Kart 8, but not to this degree where I can't beat the challenge unless, again, I'm missing some meta. I'm going to dive more into that, though. But there's some neat tricks that this game has included that I'm trying to think of what was another. There's more that you can do with the jump throughout doing things and jumping off walls and all that. So it's very interesting what they did there. And then It Takes Two with the wife. I think we beat a boss yesterday. Still getting a little further in it. Still amazing. It is kind of fun. Like, I guess I never really thought about this. And that's why I got to actually shout out It Takes Two, actually, because uh, let's think of co-op games and how long they take. When that Aliens Fire Team Elite came out, I was like, oh, amazing. A 4-player co-op alien game. But it's one of those where but it's more of like levels of horde modes, you know? And what I would rather these game developers do is make a game that is an amazing single player campaign experience, because it's about that experience of going through something. Now make it where you can be doing that with a buddy. And I don't think most co-op is designed in that way. And I brought this up before, like my all-time favorite, Siphon Filter Omega Strain on PS2. That was the best co-op system ever. I mean, but It Takes Two, it's just the gameplay of It Takes Two to me is not that fun, because it's like a puzzle. It's like, okay, on this map, you have a little hook a grappling hook that you can then pull something down, so then your other player can then fill it up. And then it's just a series of that until the next level. So, let's see. Jim Killix, I still haven't played my copy yet, and I got the console combo on release day. And what was this? What are you referring to, actually? Not the Switch 2. Okay, let's maybe we could jump into news, because I do want to have time to play a game. But I am not going to go over today because I have to get to work immediately. Okay, here's something new. Inti Creates announces 2D action platformer Majogami for Switch 2, Switch PC. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's interesting that, oh man, you know what? This does not let me. One thing I got to figure out, and I don't know how to necessarily communicate it or explain it, is for Meld. Meld is awesome. Like, this program I'm using, you can reach out to them, say, hey, I need it, like, let's try to figure this out. And they figure out. One thing is, when I want to re-add the browser, I feel like, anyway, we're getting too much into that stuff that doesn't matter. Oh, the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. You haven't played it yet. Oh man. Let me know when you do. We could do some multiplayer. I would love to do some multiplayer on that. Anyway, let's get back. Inti Creates. If you're not too familiar, Inti Creates is this development team that puts out some pretty cool 2D side scrollers, whatever. This one, what I find interesting is the Switch 2 Switch. Like, I wonder with marketing, do you have to now say Switch 2 and Switch all the time? It reminds me of, PS4 or PS5 or Xbox One, Series XS. Like, it has to be there. But then it's cool to see, now we're starting to see these games that have that. But it's cool. Switch 2, PC, no Xbox, no PlayStation. But that's fine. I whatever. Let's look at this. Does it? Okay, it's coming out on Switch 2 and Switch on October 30th, followed by PC via Steam at a later date. So here's something that's interesting. This is probably an example of a game that if I really wanted to play it, which I might, we'll look at more details, I would just get it on the Switch too, because it's probably designed to, oh wow, look at these graphics. Interesting. I can almost not tell anything that's going on. But I do like this sort of Ninja Samurai Witch. Is that what's going on? I really want to see gameplay with a single button press. Summon a unique Japanese-inspired effect as you slice your foe in two. Not only mirror attack, Setsuna will allow you to move to areas you wouldn't otherwise, as well as allow you to dodge attacks. So it's one of those where it has multiple characters and different actions between them. Could be fun. Inti Creates games are hit and miss. Let's actually look at that. So, wow, I didn't know how far back it went. This is new to me. Mega Man Zero. So, I guess I totally missed this part. That is why they were tapped to do Mighty Number 9. This whole time, I was like, why are they having these guys do Mighty Number 9? They did the Wii, PlayStation, and Xbox 360 Mega Man 10. Oh, okay. They like slapping different stuff together. Yeah, and Jam Kill, like, that's a really good way to put it because some of the times the games don't work, and sometimes they do, and it's like very interesting stuff. So I feel like, yeah, Galgun, that's another one. I feel like, yeah, this is one of those developers that are really cool. Okay, and then we get to where the games they developed and published themselves. Yeah, tons that I had on the first Switch. Master Zero, right? That was the one, right? Yeah, that was fun. Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. Uh, did they do Bloodstain proper? Ritual of the Night is what I'm thinking. No. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the Gunvolt, Azure Strike, like tons of these games. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, yeah, tournaments. Like I have those games and I haven't even finished them. But I play them. I like them because they're like classic. So yeah, so just looking back real quick, they did Mega Man Zero. That's funny. I remember buying this game. And I actually didn't play through it, but it was just, you would get this on your Game Boy Advance. And wasn't there also Mega Man and Bass or something like that? If that sounds for some reason that's floating around in my head. Let me Mega, unless that was supposed to be in bass. Yeah, here we go. What was this on? Completely forgot. Yeah, it's 1998 game. Originally released. Oh, the Super Famicom in 1998, and then was ported to the Game Boy Advance in 2002. Wow, I did not know that was originally a Super Famicom game that wasn't released here, and then they ported it. That's fascinating. I think what is it? It's bass like this. We're not bad. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that this was a Japanese only on Super Nintendo. It's cool to think about that. Just because when it came out here in the US, I just, bought it. So, all right. Um, wait, was that what I was? Because I know we were just talking about, that game they're making, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to say blah, 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 but it's just cool that it's going to be on Switch too. Okay, here's another thing. Yesterday, Sony had like a Ghost of Yotei uh, showcase video, whatever. They were kind of showing some gameplay. We'll talk about that. And then they showed off, I guess, some limited edition PS5 consoles. Now, and this is where I'm not too familiar with it. It looks like here they're going to have just two different colored versions that you could buy, which, is that how much they know they can sell a PS5? And then why is it not a Pro? Like, is there going to be a PS5 Pro version, or is it? And I'm asking these questions because I'm curious what it is. Is it like where the PS5 Pro just doesn't sell as much as a regular PS5, so they'll have two kind of obscure? Like, this is different than Spider-Man. If it was with Spider-Man consoles, I'd be like, whoa, but Ghosts of Yotei. I love Ghost of Tsushima, but I wouldn't necessarily buy a console. Although I will say the gold does look cool. But then it'd be like, well, I'd just rather buy a Pro since I already have the console. So. So because here's the thing, like the game looks really good, and we're going to talk about some of the gameplay. But I would rather get it on PC, but it's not going to be on PC for about a year, maybe more. But then I would rather play it on. See, this is the Death Stranding 2 conundrum. It's like I want to play Death Stranding 2 right now, but but I'd want to play it as high end as possible, so I'd rather just play it on my PC. But I can't play it on PC right now because it's not out, so I'd have to. I don't want to buy a PS5 Pro. It's interesting. Now, as for gameplay, so one of the things, Ghost of Yotei looks amazing. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima looked amazing. In fact, that was developed on the PS4, and then they just did little upgrades for the 5. So just think, Yotei potentially built from the ground up on the 5. But there's a few things. A new exploration system. The game also features a new exploration system that caters to different playstyles. A new underlying clue system has been introduced, which will open new adventures and areas of the game. The world is also filled with altars of reflection, which players need to find along the blah, blah, blah. When you call it something, I don't know what that means. Let's see. I mean, it says unlock new abilities, but what am I doing at the altar of reflection? Is it a gameplay element, or I just go up to it and press a button? But anyway, combat. Looking forward to the most from players will be able to wield various weapons, including katanas, saragamas, adachis, spears, dual swords. Each of these weapons. I mean, that's not too much. You know what? Watch the video if you get a chance, because it just looks great. And it's interesting because, yeah, even reading it, it doesn't necessarily explain, or I think the video did a good job of showing Ghost of Yotei looking different enough from Ghost of Tsushima in terms of the gameplay and the world you're in. There's a lot more here. I would say, actually, this takes a lot from Rise of the Ronin and Assassin's Creed, especially when it comes to NPCs in the area that can kind of help fulfill, like, not only story but gameplay elements. But the other thing is, I'm not gonna, and maybe it's because it's just on the PS5. I only have a PS5 and it's on PS5. I don't know if I would even buy this when it comes out. I'd never beat Ghost of Tsushima. I got super far into it. Actually, what was the time? I'm sure we've looked it up before. 49 hours. 49 hours in a game, I'm pretty good, I gotta say. And I think that's why I just stopped. But, and that's funny, and that's the thing I've come to learn in my life, and I think this works in so many areas. You don't necessarily need to finish a game to get the full enjoyment out of it. In fact, you don't want to finish a game just to finish it, especially if you feel like you're finishing it just to finish it. And I feel so much more liberation to be like, Ghost of Tsushima, I played 49 hours, I'm done. Yes, I'd be down to play a follow-up. A difference would be something like Death Stranding. I've only played a few hours of Death Stranding, and it's almost like I'd rather at least play some more before I go to 2. I don't need to beat the first one, but enough to really get a sense before I move on. It's very liberating to not be tied down to having to beat a game. It really is. Okay. So again, I would say check out the deep dive. Looks interesting. Okay, Nintendo to discontinue Switch game voucher service. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, you could pay like $100, like maybe because of tax, and then you could choose 2 Switch games. So if it's a $60 game, 2 of those would be $120. Obviously, that means you'd pay less. It's a pretty good deal, and I guess they're deciding to expire it, but it's probably because not only does it not work on Switch 2, but now games are going to be $80. So I don't think they can get away with $100 for 2 games when they're 80. So I would say for any of you out there that there's some more, like, I would say, yes, Switch games that you want to get. I would even say Nintendo first party just to kind of collect them. Obviously digital, but yeah, go grab a voucher. I mean, 100's really a lot. So it's almost like you would plan that to be like a gaming budget for a few months right there, right? It's a cool idea. It reminds me back like years ago, and I say years ago, but maybe this was 10 years ago, or a little more. Best Buy had this cool rewards program where it was the same thing. You could buy 2 games, it would come out to be 100. Toys R Us was doing the same thing. It was a neat time, and mainly the stuff was physical. But yeah, you could go to Toys R Us. Even Amazon was doing it. Yeah, there was a while where these companies were all doing like 2 games for 100. And that kind of just went away. So yeah, okay. Alternatives. I played the multiplayer more than you know what? I liked the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. I need to play that more because I remember enjoying that. But Jim Killex, you're saying plus people wanting their physical copies. That I think is a real thing, and so something that I think I was watching Spawn Wave, the news thing, and something he brought up that I thought made sense is, people would rather go buy those Nintendo first party games, but physical, because Nintendo actually puts their games on the card. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually an investment in a way, right there. So I might think about that in the future. Also because I don't have much physical games anymore, really, and the Nintendo games do, yeah, because I was reorganizing my TV console, and they don't take up much space. So something to think about. Okay, and then on June 18th, there's going to be a new Donkey Kong Bonanza direct. Not that I need it. I think the game comes out on the 17th anyway. But curious what that's going to be about. I guess more of a promotional thing. Another thing, Castle Crashers is getting DLC 20 years after release. Did you guys play Castle Crashers? I did. I never beat it, but it was an interesting time because my younger brother, when this game came out, this is something he was really into. And then even later, once my kids got into games, my youngest got into this game, but I don't know how much the youngest remembers it. Anyway, now that since that game has come out, I've been more into like going back to beat 'em ups, and this is a game I feel like I really want to go back and explore properly. Because this was like a beat 'em up before it became a retro thing to make a beat 'em up again, you know. Um, a couple more things, then I'm going to jump into some gameplay real quick, but then I got to be off on time. Flora and Fang takes inspiration from Donkey Kong 3, and it's on Switch now. It's like I haven't heard of this. Let's see. Okay, the game. Yeah, is there sound? Let's see, a little bit of sound. This looks, pretty neat. I like the graphics, and I guess they're talking about, how it plays like a Donkey Kong game instead of like a proper platformer. So let's look at this real quick. Flora and Fang, Vampire Garden. So yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, Donkey Kong, where it's one static map, but you're trying to navigate and dodge things, and it's $6.99. I'm gonna hit that, but I'm gonna do something real quick. It is on Steam. But it's cheaper on the Switch. Interesting. So that's an example of, I would want to get this for my Switch. And then the console version of Yuzo Koshiro's Earthyon has been delayed. So, longtime gaming developer, musician, did the music for Streets of Rage 2. Or all of them. But, let's see. So this is still coming out on Steam on July 31st, which this is a big deal to me. It's the same time as that Ninja Gaiden game. That's going to be tough. But I guess the console versions got delayed, which is interesting. So, but I don't mind. I'm totally getting this on PC. I mean, there's just so much cool going on with this. The graphics, it's a shmup. It's made by the guy that made the music for so many classic games you've played. Oh, this is just doing everything. And I don't even have the audio for this. I mean, everything about this is Sega Genesis. Look at that. Return to the Genesis is the subtitle of it. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. All right, I am going to do something real quick because I will have to depart shortly. Let's get this demo for Rah Rah Boom going. And while that's launching, let's see. Has Reunited Gaming History exhibit when my daughter was the new ground to the console game classic. Oh, that's cool. Oh, on PS. Oh, Eartheon. Okay, that's good. See, when I see things that are still made for like Xbox One or PS4, you know what? That's why sometimes I'll see, you know, I actually don't know. Check. Yeah, oh well, I'll just do this. Anyway, when you see like a developer make something for an older console, I think that's really cool. I think, though, for me, it makes sense because, oh, you know what? I kind of want to be the ninja. With PS4, because so many people have a PS4, I think it's really cool to always make games for a PS4. I feel like the PS4 is going to be outside of, you know, like I bet in 10 years people will still be playing on a PS4, and then it's going to be easy to develop things on a PS4. All right. Sorry guys, gonna skip cutscene. I kind of just want to. Oh, even the beginning is a tutorial anyway. So. Okay. I like the combat to where as you're doing consecutive hits, that's really cool. Okay, okay, so you press it once to dash forward. Oh, press B for special. All right, I got to see, these graphics are really good. To me, these graphics look like it's like a big budget game. So I guess, yeah, you know, Steven was on here yesterday and he said like a cheerleader theme to beat him up, and that's actually really what's going on, because I didn't realize that. We have the gym here and all that. And then, let's see. Oh, that was cool. How did I do that? Uh-oh. It's like a glitch. Oh, sweet. Throwing ninja stars and then picking up stuff. This game seems like it's going to be really cool. I do have to go, but just this initial 1 minute I spent with it, the combat feels great. In terms of having like multiple things you can do, the graphics look great. All that. All right. All right. I'm gonna head out, guys. Have a good weekend. We will sync back up soon later next week. Yeah, have fun playing whatever games you're playing this week, and yeah, we'll talk later. See y'all.